Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Multiplane Podcast. And happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day. As you noticed, I am by myself today because Ty Crazy is late. So he should be popping in here at any minute. But of course, we are going to be talking Star Wars. We're going to be talking what's new in Disneyland, what's new in Marvel, some big Marvel news this week. So, all the Disney things, but also a lot of the Star Wars things. We want to know what you're super excited about. And FanX made some announcements today, and hopefully, we're crossing our fingers. We have submitted some panels for FanX, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to be there hosting some Disney panels with Multiplane Podcast and you guys. So, we want to know, what are you excited about when it comes to Disney Plus? All of the Star Wars stuff going on. Did you go to the post office today and get yourself some Star Wars stamps? If you did, I totally want to see them. So give us, um, you know, share some pictures with us on our social media. But hopefully we will get Ty in here any second and we can add him. Oh, I think he might be here. I think he might be in. We'll see. But as you noticed, I took down my Spider-Man backdrop today and I added my Boba Fett. And it looks like Ty is here. Ty's here, but he's late, but you're here. So thanks for being here, Ty.
Whoa. So I was ready. I had everything pulled up. And then as soon as it was go time, everything froze up. Like I'm about ready to throw the laptop out the window.
All right. Well, you're in your Jedi robes today. We're talking Star Wars. I was just telling everybody I took my Spider-Man thing down for the day, and I've got my Boba Fett, and Boba Fett's here, and I've got my Mandalorian on. You're in your robes.
It's not good enough. You should have been in your armor.
Dude, like, it's my armor's right there.
No. So, I'm over the top. I'm in my robes.
I was on time, so I don't want to hear it. And do you know what I was doing before? I was telling everyone what I was doing before the show started is I was actually entering in our panels for FanX. And so I'm crossing my fingers that you and I, Multiplane Podcast, along with some of our other Disney experts, will get to host Disney Plus, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we can talk about all the things we love, all the things that maybe shouldn't happen on Disney Plus, and the things that are coming. So I'm hoping, just throwing that out there in the FanX universe, hopefully they will let us host that. If not, we'll be there anyways. We'll be there doing some other things as well. They had some announcements today. They had their press conference, but we want to get into Disney announcements. So let's talk about Disneyland for a minute. Do you have any Disneyland things that you want to talk about? I did post that the hotel and the Star Wars hotel and the restaurant is going to be pushed back to 2022 on the opening. But if you click in on our Facebook page on that article, you get to see some artist rendering of what that restaurant is going to look like. So that's pretty cool. I definitely want to stay there, but you know that hotel is going to be super pricey.
I don't know if I got the money back.
It's going to be me going by myself. It's literally going to be me and my Dogecoin money that's been going up to 60 cents today. And as soon as that baby's up to $1, I'm going to cash out, put it over here. And that will be me and my only trip alone to go stay in the Star Wars hotel.
Other news, guys, Disney just revealed they have come up with an actual retractable lightsaber.
Yes, I just watched the video. It makes the noise. It comes out. It's as close to having your very own lightsaber, except for you can't cut someone in half with it. But it does everything else that a lightsaber will do. So why don't you post that video on our Facebook page, if you will, Ty, if you've got that up. And people can go watch that because it is pretty neat. And the girl looks so much like Rey. I love how they cast so many good cast members at the parks.
Point being, like, guys, you're not going to be able to buy these yet. This is more for, I think they'll start off with the actors and all the, as soon as they can monetize those.
But I bet you're going to have to pre-order and they're going to sell out. And then you're going to have to get in a line to like pick it up. Yeah. Cause right now, how much did you pay for your lightsaber when you have you created one yet?
Not yet. It's on this next trip. I am getting one, but it's 200.
It's 200. We did droids, and we did the $200 package as well because we got the bag and the noise and everything. I didn't do the lightsaber because I was just waiting for this, honestly. I have a couple lightsabers that they're just bulky. They're hard to like store and put up because they're lightsabers are big. So I was like,
I think this one's going to be worse than the ones you have right now. Like,
no, because it comes in and goes out. So it can just be stored on my wall, just like,
but right still here. Like if you look at it and imagine how bulky it has to be to, house
these little sausage fingers aren't going to be able to get around. Hopefully they'll have a skinny version for my little hand.
And I'm sure they'll keep developing it. And, like you said, as soon as they can mainstream it, it'll be on the market.
For sure. I know I told everybody we're not going to be just talking about Star Wars today, even though May the 4th be with you, Ty. But we are also going to be talking about Marvel. There's big...
Let's do this first. Let's cover the Marvel stuff first. Then we can...
So we got the dates for the Marvel. I posted their celebration movie from YouTube on our Facebook page. We have Black Widow coming out in July. I'll be doing a big review on that. The Eternals is October. Shang-Chi is in September. Spider-Man, December. Doctor Strange, March of 2022. The Love and Thunder, May 2022. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is the title, is going to be July 2022. And then the Marvels 2022, which I want to talk about in just a minute. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania is February of 2023. So they've got us going out for 3 years, which is usually what they were doing with phase 1. So this is nice that this is all coming out here. I honestly did not expect to see another Ant-Man and Wasp movie. I expected to see them in other movies, but I didn't know that they would do another one. Do you think that they're going to be tying in? I know they're going to be tying in a ton with like some of the TV series that we've talked about, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse. Do you think the multiverse is going to be tied heavily into Quantumania?
I actually think that the Fantastic Four will debut in Quantumania.
And then we'll get kind of that coming out of... What is the Marvels? Explain.
So the Marvels, they're setting up a lot of teams right now. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But this next year and a half, whatever you want to say, we're setting up a lot of teams. So the Marvels are like, obviously Captain Marvel. You have Miss Marvel, who's going to be, she was one of the main antagonists on the new Avengers video game that released this year.
Yeah,
I watched this year or last year.
No, it was last year because I watched Dave. I think it was towards the end of 2020.
Yeah,
because I watched Dave play it like during or maybe it came out right at the beginning of the year because he played it a lot during the quarantine. So maybe it was the big. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it was 2020. No, now that I think about it,
timeline wise, my brain's. But yeah, he did play, and she gets super stretchy. Is she the one that's super stretchy?
Yeah, she's kind of like a Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, she was, I have to say, just watching him play that was frustrating with her. But I did like a lot of the other characters that they had pop in. So we'll see. I hope she's better than she is in that game.
And then you have the Eternals, which of course they're their own team.
Yeah.
Thor, Love and Thunder, we're getting the Thor core heavily involved, I think, going on. And I'm, again, hoping Beta Ray Bill shows up in this for that. Just, a lot of these random
I just want him to be there because his name is silly.
I want him to be there because I love him. And then Guardians Volume 3.
Boo, whatever.
Oh, don't even get me started, Val. I know that Guardians 2 is not your favorite movie, but...
They need to step their game up. Step it up. I'm bored. I feel like all these characters are the same all the time. I want them to expand because I feel and I think it's because I have high expectations. I feel like out of all of the movies, this crew has the most diversified characters. And so I expect more. And I just feel like they keep giving us the same. And I'm just kind of like, I've seen you do the same thing.
Wow. Kind of like how I feel about Captain America and that whole troop.
But they're not soups. Like the new Captain America they're not in the outer space universe. And so I feel like there's more for them to do Because they're out in this huge galaxy. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy.
We'll get to it.
Okay, well, it's taken them 3 movies. Captain America wowed us at the first movie, and then wowed us again in the second movie, and then wowed us again in Endgame. Like, he's just been wowing us the whole time. So, I mean, you can only, like, dance fight your way through one movie, and then it's done. Okay. I also, before this, was watching Bad Batch. That started today on Disney Plus.
To watch it today.
Well, this is the thing is, so it is the continuation of
Clone Wars.
Of Clone Wars, and I haven't finished watching Clone Wars. I've only watched the first season and part of like season 4, and so I've had a really hard time watching Clone Wars just because of the animation. So I'm wondering if I can get through Bad Batch and kind of piece things together, because so far, and there are certain things in it so far that remind me a little bit of The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah?
Like some of the storytelling is a little bit close to that, just like some of like relationship wise.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I swear one of the main guys with the red bandana, sorry, I don't know names yet because I literally just started watching it before I came down here to do this. He is the Sylvester Stallone of the Star Wars universe. Like, he's got the chin and the nose and the red Rambo like bandana, but then he comes out with like, you know, this accent. So he's kind of like a mix of like Russell Crowe and Sylvester Stallone. I love it so much.
I'm excited for Shang-Chi. That's coming September.
Gosh.
Shang-Chi is going to open some doors.
I've been following that main actor on social media, and he's super fun. I really like him. He, you know, when you see people that are starting to become, because he's been a star for a while, just not in mainstream American films, but you can just tell like he's a good person, you know, like, so you can just kind of tell. And I like that. I like that about him. I think Marvel has done a really good job at finding actors that are like that, you know, like, because I feel like so far, almost every single Marvel actor that comes in for a role, none of them are dicks. Like, they all seem like really nice people outside of, nah, she's good. I like her too.
I like Brie.
I watched her on Bear Grylls. And if you've never seen her, like, you really want to get to know the real person, you watch Bear Grylls, because Bear takes these people through all kinds of crap, and she did not complain one time. She did not complain, throw a fit. She, like, her and Zac Efron's episode was pretty good as well. When's Zac Efron going to be in the MCU? That's what I want to know.
I'm hoping that he either becomes Human Torch or Adam Warlock.
I think he'd be a great Human Torch. I don't know much about Adam Warlock, so I don't know, but I think he'd be a great Human Torch.
And I think Adam Warlock might be coming in Guardians Volume 3.
Can we do a little gossip? We don't usually get to the gossip.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go for it.
So there was a picture of Thor and that whole cast of people. A picture of them today showed up with them talking to Sacha Baron Cohen. Like, they all went out to lunch with Sacha Baron Cohen. So is he going to be showing up in the MCU, or do you think they all just decided to go have lunch together? You're like, what?
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah. I'm not making this up. Go clickety click it.
Let's see.
Because if Sasha was going to be, I would want him to be like a super villain. I think he'd be a great villain.
No, but Christian Bale's already going to be the villain for Love and Thunder.
Right, but he could be in a different movie because they all interconnect with each other.
Who are they seen with?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
All right.
And Christian Bale was totally bald and really thin. He wasn't his Batman muscular self.
Gonna be grotesque, like.
Okay. So that's super exciting, and it's funny because Sasha's like this tall. And Christian Bale in the picture is like all the way down here. Did you find it?
I'm looking it up.
Do you want me to? Because I clicked on it like an hour and a half ago, or maybe this morning when I was doing the radio show. I don't know. Time is not my friend. Right now.
Let's see. What can I see? Oh my gosh!
What?
As dumb as this sounds, he's the perfect build for Beta Ray Bill.
Okay, so would you be okay with that?
I'd be totally down for him to play Beta Ray Bill.
This is the thing. I think a lot of people still look at Sasha as like
Borat.
this Borat, right? And I don't care for Borat at all, but the newest Borat, like I really respected kind of why he made that movie. But when he was in the Chicago 7 movie that I think should have won movie of the year, he was one of the best parts of that movie. He is a really good actor, and I don't think people understand that because they just see all these characters. But it was his goal to never be recognized as himself. He wanted to only be recognized as Borat forever. And then people were like, hey, do you want to be in these other movies? And then he was in a bunch of movies that he is a really great actor. So you'd like to see him as that?
I think he could totally pull off a Beta Ray Bill. I mean, even though Beta Ray Bill gets mutated to where he doesn't look human anymore.
But he plays a lot of different characters, so
I'm for it.
Okay, well, let's jot that down and see if that actually happens. And then I'll get you some cookies from the dark side if that happens.
But Christian Bale's character, if you look it up, it's what's his name? Something the God Killer. Anyways, yeah, his character is pretty gnarly looking.
Okay, well, I'm excited. Anything Christian Bale, I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Now, he is known to be kind of really vocal on the set. So I like him, but there's a lot of people that don't tend to love him on a set. So he might, unless he's calmed down a little bit in his old age, he might, but now he's been in both the DC universe and the MCU. Not many people have done both, but now this year coming up in the next 2 years, we're going to have people that have done both in a couple of different movies.
I read somewhere that this was like a one and done. He signed a one contract, one film thing. So it might be, where he's in this one and then he gets lopped off. And then we kind of move on.
Yeah. All right, so I am getting annihilated on my radio AB poll because we were supposed to say who is your favorite Star Wars character, and you know how hard that is for me because usually my favorites aren't ones that like the mainstream people know about. You know what I mean? They're not main characters. So I picked Obi-Wan Kenobi because I love Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Mike picked R2-D2.
I picked Obi-Wan.
When you pick a droid, like you're going to win every time. Like the droids are so much fun. I'm like, well, maybe we should go head to head, droid to droid. But not a lot of people know who Dio is, and I love Dio.
That's who I was going to say.
Right? But not a lot of people like mainstream know who Dio is. So I went with Obi-Wan because I love Obi-Wan, but I would have liked to go Dio against R2-D2. Yeah. But I mean, either way, I'm going to lose because R2 is such a great character. Like I think Star Wars has done such a really great job at making us love inanimate objects, like have like actual feelings for inanimate objects. Lightsabers, droids feel like Falcon. Real live people for us, Falcon. I think they've done such a good job at that. I was thinking about that today. Like I can't name a whole lot of other things where you love somebody that's not the character in the movie. You know what I mean?
I was about to say one of my favorite characters who's not even made it to screen yet. Hopefully he's coming in the new stuff. Like we talked about Revan.
Okay.
So that's definitely one of mine.
Nice.
Any other Marvel stuff you want to cover before we get into Star Wars?
Not really. I think I'm over the Marvel stuff for right now. I don't know if we covered it a week or two ago because I can't remember, but Spider-Man is now going to be coming to Disney Plus, which is nice. If you've noticed, we talked about it before that Spider-Man wasn't there, but Sony and Disney came together. They created a Spidey Baby agreement, and now Spider-Man is going to be on Disney Plus. So, yay. Okay, now I'm done.
All right. So Star Wars, we're going to talk the future of Star Wars and what's coming and kind of like what's going on.
Yeah.
What are some of your future favorite projects that you're like having high hopes for?
I mean, hello, Kenobi. Like, I'm waiting. I've been waiting for Kenobi as long as I have been waiting for Boba Fett to be on the big screen. We still haven't seen Boba Fett on the big screen again, but I'm pretty happy with what they did with The Mandalorian, and the fact that they're making Kenobi a series instead of a movie. Yes. I think I like it a little bit better because we get more of the story, and I just love Ewan McGregor, and I love the fact that he's come back to loving this character, because for a while he regretted playing this character and he wasn't a huge fan of the super fans. That can be really overwhelming, especially when you're trying to be, and I'm going to put this in quotes, a real actor, and you got stuck in these prequels with that people were just bashing. But I think he's come to love his character, and he's such a great actor. So I have really high hopes for that. And I know I need to shut it down a little bit, but I don't know how to not have high hopes for it after The Mandalorian.
Here's the thing though, too. I think a lot of people will tell you that Ewan McGregor is like their favorite part of the prequels.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah,
because Qui-Gon is like one of my ultimate favorite characters,
which I'm stoked for getting him back too.
And having those two actors together on the big screen they had such good, just, I think, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
They had good chemistry. Like,
I mean,
as far as
it was chemistry, but it was also like I feel like they were meant to be those characters.
Yeah, like it was totally fit.
Yeah, they were made to be that. And I think out of, a lot of people don't like the prequels. I definitely think they have issues and problems. But I love their interaction so much together. And I think when you see them interacting with Anakin, it makes those scenes more bearable because they're more believable. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm so excited about that. How about you?
Let's see. Oh, Kenobi, of course, but I also am excited for having Qui-Gon Jinn kind of come back into the story. I'm also excited because I'm hoping they will have Darth Maul.
Yes, there have been rumors for a long time that Darth Maul was going to be back. Do you think it's going to be the original actor? Because he's had some issues personally.
I think they'll get through.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they fired What's-Her-Bucket over a post. You don't think they're going to fire him over like his wife's allegations? If they keep him on for that and those allegations come through as true, there's going to be some huge backlash against firing her for a post and not firing him. So we'll see.
The nice thing is his is a character makeup, so you can make someone look.
You're still paying an actor that may possibly have beat his wife. Sorry to be like well, I'm bringing in.
No.
I'm bringing
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if they hire someone new.
Oh yeah.
The easy thing is that he's a character that they can.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is with that is that they had several. If I'm right about this, they had several different stuntmen that trained him to be this character that could possibly come in to be him. So that would be he's definitely, I don't want to say he's easy to replace, but he kind of is. So
for me, Kenobi, The Mandalorian season 3.
Yes.
Ahsoka is going to be pretty cool. I'm not like super stoked, but it's higher on the list than a few others.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Ahsoka's she's live action. She's getting her own screen time, which this character deserves it.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like, I'll watch it. Like, I haven't put any kind of pre-feelings on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I'll go in with just let's see what happens kind of feeling.
The Acolyte.
So explain what that is to everybody.
So the Acolyte is going to be, I'm reading some of the stuff on it right now, is going to be taking place about a century before The Phantom Menace. This mystery thriller series will revolve around a female character who will uncover shadowy secrets in the time where the dark side powers are brewing. So an Acolyte, a Sith Acolyte, typically they were known to hunt down Jedi and to really... be brutal people. So that one's close to the top of my list. Taika Waititi's film.
Yeah.
The Children of Blood and Bone.
Yeah.
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 That's like number one on the list right now. And it'll be the one that I'm waiting the longest on.
Yeah. Do you think, because of the time frame on this and because, Star Wars characters, a lot of them can live for a long time, do you think that we might see, because now they're kind of going from big screen to series where they're bringing different characters back and forth, do you think that we might see some characters, even if they were smaller characters from the latest trilogy in there?
In these newer ones?
Yeah, because of the timeline.
Depending on the timeline, yeah. If we're going, past the rise of Skywalker into this new era, I definitely think I think they'd want that. I think we're going to have some of those.
Yeah.
Because, we're going to get into this here in a minute, talking about Star Wars involved with the parks.
Yeah.
For those of been to Galaxy's Edge, the characters from this last trilogy are heavily influenced in the land.
Yeah.
And I had this discussion with some people, and they're like, the rumor that went around saying, oh, Disney's going to completely, uncanonize the last 3 films they did and rewrite it. And I'm like, guys, no, they're not. Like, if you've ever been to Disneyland, you will understand why that is just, it's stupid for you to assume something like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think we'll see some more characters reaching out into these newer projects.
I'm excited to go back to Disneyland and actually see like even more of the Star Wars stuff, because I haven't seen everything, and then they're going to be having additions that they're going to be opening up over the next couple of years. So I'm super excited about that.
But yeah, that's Children of Blood and Bone, my number one. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi is like my next one that I'm super stoked for.
And they're just calling that Kenobi, right?
Kenobi, yeah, the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
We'll see the transition from Obi-Wan to old Ben.
Yes. I'm excited. I like to know the things that we don't know in the middle of the story. You know what I mean? Because I haven't read any of the books. So if I'm just, I'm just a moviegoer. And so to find out what he's been doing between, the prequels and when we see him again in the originals, I want to know what he was doing. I want to know where he went. I want to know, he didn't just go off somewhere and just sit there and wait for somebody to find him. That's just not a Kenobi's way.
No.
Right. So I definitely want to see what was going on there.
Well, I think that's why The Mandalorian did so well, is because you were getting some of the side story that was filling in those gaps, and it had hints and stuff from characters that were, existing in the main storyline, but then there were repercussions happening in the background, and that's probably why I love Rogue One.
Yes,
that was a major gap filler that I thought, okay, good job, Disney.
They did such a great job with Rogue One.
Solo, here's the thing, I don't hate Solo.
It just had some issues from the beginning, so
I don't. The kid who plays Han,
yeah.
Me and my wife know him from another movie.
Yeah, he's been in a few.
And well, no, that's what I'm saying. And the character that we first watched him play, is who we now associate him with. Like,
what movie was it? Do you remember?
Beautiful Creatures.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that.
The goofy podunk.
Yeah, I forgot he was in Beautiful Creatures.
And now I can't watch Solo not think of him with that like Southern drawl and
just I'm all right with it. I really wanted Ansel Elgort to get that role. I think he would have done a really good job with that role.
Is that the kid who plays
Baby Driver? I just think
Driver.
Yeah, I think he had the swagger. He has that, that feel. And he was one of the top 3 that they were looking at. And I wished he would have gotten it, but I like this kid. I like him just fine. I think he does. I just think the movie itself had some issues from the beginning, and then switching directors in the middle, and then, but I enjoyed it, but I definitely think there could have been some tightening up.
And that's the thing. I love seeing him going in, trying to become a pilot through the Empire, and seeing how the Empire basically was going from world to world just like, oh, we're taking over. I wanted Anthony. Oh, I'm gonna murder his last name.
Oh no, I think I know who you're talking about.
Anthony and Gruber.
Yeah.
From Age of Adeline. That's when I seen him playing a young Harrison Ford. I'm like, why did we not get this kid a shot in Solo? Like,
well, I mean, I think because he was in the top 3, right? Or the top 5.
Was he?
If you go back and Google top picks for Han Solo, and it will give you like the top 5 that they were looking at. And he might have been in there because I remember, I mean, I know who he is, so I don't know. But yeah, I think Ansel would have done a good job. I don't think he didn't do a good job. I just think, you could tell it was just a little discombobulated. But I do love how you found out how he got his name, because we all know him, we love his name, and it was just like thrown out there. Like, it just crazy.
Yeah, Ansel would have done good too. That's now that I'm seeing him on the list as well. But yeah,
because
they both made that list.
Yeah, he has that swagger that like Harrison Ford has, and that kind of that, like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. And I feel like, so I think he would have done a good job, but we got who we got. So, I do want to ask you this. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I have to break that up.
No.
Like,
you have to pick one. If
just
you could
one
only,
out of everything.
if you were to say, somebody's like, I have never seen Star Wars before, and I can only watch one movie, what movie would you have them watch?
I hate this because I always make people break it up in the original trilogy, prequel.
That would be too easy. Why would I do that? I'll tell you mine first, and then you can keep thinking. So I would pick Revenge of the Sith, just because I feel like you get a little bit of a few stories in that movie. You do get to see who is before Darth Vader, and then you get to see Darth Vader, so you understand that there's going to be someone evil. I think you get how the universe is kind of turning into this other thing in that movie. So I feel like you get a lot in that movie about the whole story.
See, and Revenge of the Sith is my favorite from the prequels. So
yeah, it is mine too. So
I'm gonna have to. Well, I'm just gonna go with A New Hope. I'm
okay.
Like, if you have to watch Star Wars and you get one and done, why not go with the one OG that started it all? Like,
I know a lot of people would pick Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but
I think New Hope would be a good one as well. But I still stick with Revenge of the Sith for me. But I have the high ground as one of my all-time favorite quotes.
But yeah, Revenge of the Sith is up there.
I have a little Tsum Tsum of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he sits on top of my TV so that he can have the high ground. I'm a nerd.
I'm trying to think. There was another funny meme I seen today. It was like, I have the high ground.
There's so many things you can do with that. I love it so much.
I think it was Luke was on a platform or something, and Darth Vader was right here.
Oh,
and he's like, I have the high ground. And then you just see Vader get all pissed off.
Oh, Tracy. He's like, that's why we love you, Val. Oh, since we have Tracy here, I do want to mention, so Tracy's with me on Multiplane Podcast, and we had him on last week's episode. But I believe we're all going to be on an episode of Remote Con that starts on Monday. I don't think ours is Monday. I'll have to look at the schedule. I'll post the schedule on our Facebook page and Instagram. But you're on a couple panels without me as well, I think. So we're kind of spread out. You're on one of the MCU panels. And I figured, like, I've been on, I think I counted them yesterday, like 7 MCU panels in the last couple of years. So I feel like I've said all I had to say about that. So except for I just put a panel in for FanX about the MCU. But it's creating our own. I want to create a FanX version of the multiverse, like how we all think it should go.
Okay.
Yeah.
but I'm going to be on a MCU. I totally am on the Harry Potter one.
Yeah, I am not on that
one. I'm going to bring my pedigree on that.
I don't know. Okay.
So let's talk about the parks.
Okay.
While we have some time left. I think that's one of my earliest memories of Disneyland was Disney back in 1999.
Oh my gosh, you're a baby.
First time.
Oh my gosh, you're a baby.
My first time, I'm pretty sure, was summer of 1999. And it was me and my sister and my parents.
Okay. And you were 4?
And just go, what? No, I was 8. Thank you.
Okay.
And getting on Star Tours, buckling in, and then I just loved the interaction that I got with, what's the name of the old driver? It was before we had C-3PO.
Oh, so I have to tell you, there is a female version of that driver. Remember? I shared that with you a couple weeks ago. But I've been up since 3 a.m., so I if I didn't have it planned, I don't know the name.
Rex. I think Rex was his name.
Yes, Rex.
But like, just having him right there talking to us and then doing that whole scenario where we're, moving and being projected through space. And then I get off that ride and I'm just like, that was magic. Like that was intense.
And then they take you to Small World and you're like, what's this crap?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. If you love Small World, that's fine. But going from that ride to that ride as an 8-year-old boy.
Yes, Tracy. 1999 was my first time in Disneyland. He
was 8. I think that's a good year. I think between the ages of 5 and 9 are a good first year experience. I took Sammy when she was 4 and we had a good time. She had a good time, but she doesn't remember it except for when I show her pictures, but you remember it. So that's great.
Yeah. And I just remember it was one of the coolest things in the world. And then now to see how they've taken that technology and put it through the roof on Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
So what was your first, can you remember your first interaction with Star Tours? Because I say Star Tours because it was the first co-project between Disney and Lucasfilm.
Right. And so I'm going to go further back because I feel like they're kind of intertwined. So I was at Disney World, I believe, in Epcot, I believe one of the first years, in that first run of Captain EO.
Gotcha.
And Captain EO was similar because it was a big screen. You felt like you were, they didn't really move that I can remember, but you felt like in the theater, it didn't move like this one, but you felt like you were on the ship with them. You felt like you were interacting with them. And so going from that and then Star Tours, I believe I rode Star Tours. I think you rode it before me because I don't think I rode it until I took Sammy in 2004, wow. I think. Yeah, because we went to Disneyland and Disney World when I was in elementary school. And then I hadn't gone again until Sammy was born. And then I went 2 times a year until now.
I was like, wow, that's a big gap.
Because my parents weren't really into Disneyland at all. And because they weren't, I was more of a DC fan. I got heavily into DC World. And I liked all the Disney cartoons and stuff, but my parents, we just didn't, that's not what we did. But I've always loved Disneyland and Disney World from when I went when I was younger. And so then when I had Sammy, I'm I want that to be a part of our life. And so we all went as a family when she was 4 years old. And then I started working for Disney 2 or 3 years later. And then I got a silver pass. So just 2 and 3 times a year. And then I married my, who is now my ex-husband before that. But as soon as I married him, she's the one that was we're going to Disneyland, going to Disneyland, going to Disneyland. And then I started working there. So basically, so we didn't have to pay. That's why I started working there. I'm just kidding. I got the call. Do you want to come and work for Disney? And I was like, yes. What do you want me to do? what do you want me to do? I'll come work for you. Yes, of course I do. So I didn't write it until I took Sammy when she was 4 years old. So you wrote it before I did.
Well, see, and then that was the old version too. They've totally even revamped it now.
And I liked it. Like, I liked the old version.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. Like I said, the technology.
It was just fun.
By the time I had been on it, I think the technology was creeping up on like 10 to 12 years old.
Yeah.
If not more. Like, yeah, and I was totally okay with it. It stood the test of time as far as like taking a kid through a galaxy far, far away. It was amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really liked is the shop that you come out of after.
Yes.
That was the first place, I guess, that gave you the customizable lightsaber.
Yeah, you could also do your little droids. I have a whole bunch of like little plastic droids that we put together in there. And when there was a certain time where that shop, and there was a shop right inside of California Adventure where you could build your own Mr. Potato Head, and they had the Star Wars ones where you'd actually get a box, you'd put Mr. Potato Head in it, and then you'd shove all the accessories inside him and in the box, and as long as you could shut the lid, it was $20. $20. I have all of those still.
I totally remember that. Yeah. So like even that little gift shop that was right behind at the end of the ride was such a precursor to what we have now in Galaxy's Edge. Because even that cheap, I'm trying to remember what the price point was because it was just like a toy saber, the one that you flick and then it extends from the hilt. I'm thinking it was like $30.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive compared to what we have now.
Sure. It's like $30 is what you pay for the one at Walmart now. So
yeah.
And it was the coolest thing, even though it was plastic and the cheap components, but it was totally customizable. And I remember just losing my mind over that.
So I have a question because adults cannot wear costumes in the park unless it's during the Halloween party that you buy tickets to, right? And then they still can't be Disney Halloween costumes. Like, they can't be Disney characters. They can't be recognizable Disney characters that they have in the park. At least that's when I went, they couldn't be. Like, that you couldn't walk in a Darth Vader costume. Like, that covers your entire body.
Yeah, that's the only. So I was about to say, I just barely read up on the things when we were there. You
can't wear masks that cover your face.
No face coverings.
And
so like
they don't sell the same kind of dresses that they have on their like princesses and stuff. So unless you make it yourself, it can't be the exact same because it needs to be recognizable that you are not a character. Basically, it says that but I have a question because in the new Star Wars hotel, you can pay you are in the story.
Yeah.
And you get clothes and like you get to come up with your character. So then do you get to go in those clothes into the park?
I would assume so. Here's the thing too. So this entire thing I'm wearing, they sell the entire Sith and Jedi outfits.
But do they let you put them on in the park?
I could see the robes, maybe like the outer robe.
Yeah.
But as far as like the rest of this, I don't know.
I mean, I know I can wear this in the park, but this doesn't look like a costume. So, but
here's one thing though, I can wear this for the Halloween party.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's as far as the costume.
So that'll be interesting to see how that changes because, if you can go into Galaxy's Edge as your character in your garb, like, I think that is kind of like Evermore a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you get to be inside the world, like totally immersed, immersed.
I really think that's a stupid. I mean, I see why we have this rule.
It's for the safety of children.
There's people like me who can do like super accurate stuff. and then walk into the park, and then kids run up and they think you're another cast member, and they're like, I want a picture, and then Disney's like, they're not with us.
Yeah, and then if you do something that is wrong, then Disney gets sued. It's for safety and for legal protocol. But I hope they do figure out certain times, certain times that goes with your pass to that hotel where you get to go and interact with those characters as your character.
Yeah.
Full on D&D, baby.
No, and see, I'm totally going to wear this to the Halloween party if we end up going this year. If they have the Halloween party, I think
they will. I think they'll have a version of it. It won't be like it's been in the past, but I think they'll have a version of it.
Which it should be close enough. Like I said, if they're, that's kind of how it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So I will be wearing this, and then pretty much Disney bounding the rest of the time.
Yeah, I've never done the Disney bounding, and Sammy and I definitely want to do it the next time we go. So
I love Disney bounding.
I have to figure out what I want to do. It's just a lot of thought. I just like to put on jeans and a t-shirt when I go to Disneyland. So we're gonna figure it out. But I think that'll be a lot of fun. We should do an episode on Disney bounding, because I have a couple of friends that are experts in it. And with you and them, maybe you guys can give me and our listeners a bunch of tips on how to Disney bound the correct way, but Disney also bounding. Fun. We'll do that. So I'm going to put that on the docket. We'll do that maybe in a couple of weeks, because we've been trying to get to the Hunchback for weeks now, and we haven't, and we could keep pushing it off to do something special. But we'll do the Hunchback, and then after that, I think it's my pick, and I think I really want to do. I want to do a old classic as well. I think I want to do the Rescuers, if we can do that. So we'll do Hunchback, Rescuers, and then we'll do Disney bounding. So
cool.
All right. Well, May the 4th be with all of you. We hope you enjoy your fourth day. I don't know. I'm
going running with my lightsaber tonight for sure.
Go running with your lightsaber. Nice.
Yep.
We've got. Did you sign up for the Disney 5Ks that are coming up?
I did not.
So I have to do those starting in January with Tracy. Or
so
not
I'm
January,
doing
June.
one right now.
Starting in June with Tracy. So
I'm doing a different marathon right now.
Oh wow!
And I was an idiot, and I picked the one that's 90K. Yeah.
What?
I know.
What does that mean?
Here, let me pull it up.
Oh my gosh! You're going straight to the marathon. You're not doing a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon. You're just going straight.
So this is one of the ones I talked to Tracy about it. There's an app that does the virtual ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Yeah. And let's see, where are you at? Oh, sorry. It's I don't know why I said 89K. It's 89 miles.
89 miles.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you hate yourself?
I'm
going to start at the hardest and work my way down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know, and please don't die. Have a good May the 4th, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.